All right, welcome back, kings and queens. We're talking the Real Housewives of Atlanta, but we are focusing on Nene Leakes, y'all. Hell is going to freeze over. Nene Leakes said, well, let me just say this. Nene Leakes came out in support of Kenya Moore. Can you believe it? Nene has come a long way. Nene, thank you. Thank you, Nene. We appreciate you vocalizing the value that Kenya Moore actually brings to this franchise. And it's crazy. There had to be a larger agenda at hand when no other vet has the confidence, the esteem to step up and say, yes, although Kenya Moore may have made a move that was not favorable to her and her position on the show, at the end of the day, there is a possibility that Bravo may have made the wrong call. Cynthia didn't do it. Portia didn't do it. Candy did it. But it took the likes of a Nene Leakes to kind of shake things up. You know what I'm saying? And I can appreciate Nene as a Black woman leaning in for Kenya Moore. Kenya has earned that spot. And yes, Kenya messed up. And yes, Kenya made a detrimental mistake. But the fact of the matter is, Bravo, you have managed to deconstruct your own construction. You have managed to deconstruct something that was good. Both Britt, Eady, I believe, and both Kenya Moore should have been suspended, period. To only have one point of view after the incident is detrimental to the franchise, is detrimental to the brand, and the ratings are reflective of your bad decision making. I appreciate Nene for standing up, being a mature woman about it. I remember many, many years ago, I learned something. It's so good and refreshing being around women that wear their confidence well, women that genuinely want to see other women do better, other people do better. And for those of you that are tuned in, let me say this. If I have to be honest with you, most people, not all, but most, and we're going to focus on the most people do want to see you do well. Carry that with you as you navigate life and you move through life. Most people want to see you do well. And in this culture, I know we focus on the haterism of it all, but most people do want to see you do well. There's a majority of people that are cheering for you, hoping that you cross the finish line. And let's talk about it, y'all. For those of you who are just tuned in, or if you're new to the channel, welcome to the palace. I am Queen Sheba. I cover a variety of hot topics specific to reality television, but most importantly, I hone in on the psychological and the behavioral traits of the Black experience.
Subscribe now.
Well, if y'all are ready, we can jump right in. But let me ask you something. Are you happy that Nene took the lead in going out there and advocating for Kenya in one of the toughest moments of Kenya's life? Does this shock you? Are you surprised? Or are you like, come on, let's get it? Because divided, what is it? United we stand, divided we fall. Y'all, we have got to do a better job of supporting each other as women. And although this will not change the current situation or status that Kenya is in, it is very refreshing to hear the likes of a Nene Leakes utilize her platform to advocate for another woman. I am loving it, Nene, and I have to say, this looks good on you. This really looks good on you. But listen, everybody, let me mind my manners and let me share the clip with you. So, this clip actually came from Nene's recent episode of interviewing Latasha Scott. And then she sat with another young lady. Here it is. Let's talk about it together.
At the end of the day, Kenya is a vet, and Britt Eady is a newcomer, right? And so, no shade to Britt, but who really knows her if we don't put Kenya's picture, right there to show you guys this is Britt and this is the person that she's fighting with. So, yeah. I get it. I also get where Kenya's coming from. It seems like everybody is like coming down on her. The week before, this is what I say about the viewers, and you know this in the comments. These commenters are like, they have an issue. One minute they're supporting you, the next minute they're not supporting you. The week before, they were supporting Kenya. And this week they're not supporting her. Now they're supporting Britt. And now Kenya's gone.
And how do you feel about that? Do you feel like the show will survive without her?
I feel
Let me answer this. Do you feel like the show will survive without her? It's going to be a heavy lift for you, Bravo. It really is. I I can't help but to wonder what the hell is going on. What are you doing, Bravo? And not only that, I keep going back to Cynthia. I like Cynthia. I've always felt like Cynthia was a safe choice for the Real Housewives of Atlanta. But as I continue to cover this, I'm saying something is just not adding up. I think it's bigger than the confrontation between Britt, Eady, and Kenya Moore, because not one vet on the show, remaining on the show, has talked about the impact that Kenya's absence would have, which leads me to continue to believe they wanted Kenya Moore gone. Maybe these women, or could it be that these women felt like with Kenya out of the picture, they would be able to shine. They would be able to take the spot of the leading ladies. And listen, it's not going to happen. Shamia's not going to be able to do it. Portia's not going to be able to do it. As one viewer called it out in real time, listen, Portia is going through a very high profile divorce right now, correct? And yet Drew talking to Dennis is her storyline. Make it make sense, Bravo. Make it make sense. Portia has not been able to take this and score a touchdown with it. Shamia, I'm sorry, your house is beautiful. I love the fact that you have your family on and that you were married to a very wealthy man. That is not enough. That is not enough to turn this thing upside down. Angela is not enough. Britt, hell no. Kelly, hell to the no. Okay. And then who else? They clamored. And they had to go into their bag of tricks and go find Phaedra Parks. That's still not enough. You need the collective vets back on this show, Bravo. And don't you ever put that many newbies in at one time and think they can take the place and win the hearts of the audience over like the OGs did. Huge mistake. Let's continue.
I feel like without having Kenya, it's going to be interesting. I would like to really see where this goes because Kenya is a fire starter, and that is part of the entertainment that the viewers love.
She's so right. Thank you, Nene.
Kenya is a fire starter, and to not have her there to start any fires, now I'm starting to think this is why they went and got Phaedra. They wanted Phaedra to try to come on and help save.
And Phaedra's not that girl. Phaedra is cute, you know, with her under the breath and her, you know, her shady reads, but it's not the dynamicism that you get from the likes of a Kenya Moore and a Nene Leakes. It's just not it. You're not gonna find it. This is a once in a lifetime thing. You would literally have to re-scrap the show, take it off the air for a number of years, and carve out something completely new, Bravo. But let's continue.
Saved. That's what it feels like.
I would agree. I feel like some of the storylines are a little dry. Yeah. I don't really want to keep seeing, you know, Drew and Dennis and Portia. Yeah. You know, Shamia and Portia. That's just been a thing.
What do you think about Shamia? Oh my God, her lifestyle is everything.
I love seeing Shamia's family and that, you know, she was kind of sitting on this and, you know, she's not really boastful.
Yeah.
I'm starting to rethink Shamia as a main cast member, and not because I don't like Shamia, not because Shamia is not that girl. I don't think Shamia is that girl for main cast. I think Shamia. Let me think about this and how I want to present this. Could it be that I have become so accustomed to Shamia being a tag along and a friend of the show? That's where I think, or I've kind of convinced myself that she sits the best. I don't know. She's just not coming out there. She had a great start on the first episode, but episode 2, 3, 4, she's a role player. She's a role player. She just doesn't, it's hard to find that dynamicism, that dynamic personality that can do it like the OGs. I don't care what y'all say. And I think we've come to see and we've come to know at an audience, we didn't know what we had when we had the likes of Nene, Kenya, Candy, Portia, Cynthia. And we took it for granted. And now we're starting to want that old thing back.
So it was a surprise to me, and I just love seeing Black excellence. So to see her large home and just her family dynamic, her beautiful daughter, I love it. You know?
Yeah, I do too. I do. Do you think she makes a great housewife?
She does.
Yeah,
she does.
I love this.
She embodies what a housewife is. I mean, she's married.
Yeah,
she makes a great housewife, but I don't know if she makes a great main co-star.
A lot of people on the show that are not
married with children and they have a lifestyle,
and she works.
And she works. Mm-hmm. Yeah, even though her husband has his a great amount of income, right, she still work. And that I say this to women all the time. It doesn't matter what your husband is doing. You should work. Get out there and work because you need your own money. When you just rely on a man to do everything, you're giving him all the control. And that you should never do.
Excellent points, Nene. You know what occurred to me as they were holding this conversation, and the young lady, Nene asked her, "Do you think Shamia makes a good housewife?" I don't think Nene believes that Shamia does, and not because Nene is hating on anybody. Um, Hell, I don't think she does, but I like her. You get what I'm saying? I think Cynthia makes a good housewife. I think Kenya makes a good housewife. I think Nene makes a good housewife. Unfortunately, because of her legal battle with Bravo concerning racial claims, I don't think Bravo is in a legal position to ever bring her back to the show. But they say never. However, when I think about the part that Cynthia has played this season and how, man, these girls are just awesome. Let's just talk about it. Because even though Cynthia has been a primary housewife for a number of years. This season, she's a friend to the show. And even as an OG, she knew to downplay her part and not to try to overshadow the other women and give them an opportunity to gracefully move to the forefront. Y'all, that's wisdom. That's experience. That's an OG in and of itself. Bravo, you're really going to have to go back to the drawing board. And not only that, to all of the networks, as you are sitting there thinking about shuffling the board around and making these changes, start bringing in some damn viewers like myself. Start asking us what we need and what we want. And I think you will probably find the perfect fit. But Britt, Eady is not it. Kelly is not it. Angela, a strong, what we call it, a possible. That could be a possible. But overall, kudos to Nene Leakes. I love the way you're showing up. Good job.